Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Kuroyuki ESO, and just in case nobody has told you today, I want you to know that you look great today. So, for anyone who checked out my last Stamplar build video, you may remember that I said I planned on branching out from Plar this patch and dipping my toes into some other classes, and that's exactly what I've been doing since Greymoor came out on Xbox, and I gotta say that I'm pretty happy. I'm really enjoying myself. I've been playing Stam Warden, Stam Nightblade, Mag Nightblade, and most importantly, and probably the reason that you're here on this video to begin with, some Stam DK. Now, I gotta say, I think that Stam DK is definitely going to be one of the strongest Stam classes, if not one of the strongest classes in general for this patch, due to the way that the meta has shifted. So today, I will be bringing you guys a look at the Stamina Dragonite build that I have been running the past couple of days, as well as some straight up 1vx gameplay with commentary over top for people that are interested in hearing about my thought process and just kind of the way that I play the build in outnumbered situations. But before we hop into the build, I'd just like to ask everyone to please consider leaving a like, maybe a comment, or subscribing if you're interested in seeing more things like this in the future. And also, if you have a specific class you want to see a build on, or any kind of build, or just any recommendations for content you would like to see, let me know down in the comments below, because I do read every last one of them. So, now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into the build. We're going to start off by looking at the stat sheet front bar. We've got some pretty reasonable stats. Forgot to use the pot. I'm just fucking up. Got about 5k weapon damage. This will go up depending on a few factors that I just don't have checked off the box yet. Over 1,000 of every recovery. About 1,800 Stam recuv, which is really nice. Max magic's about 16k, which is nice. 28k max health, super nice. 30k Stam, very nice. Resistances are not super high. This is a medium armor build, but they're high enough and they will go up. Crit resist is pretty nice. We are Nord, so we have more tankiness and stuff through passives, very helpful. Boon is the warrior, and we are using the Bewitched Sugar Skull's food for a lot of extra stat and health recovery. That's what gets us sitting over 1,200 health recovery unbuffed. Let's go ahead and take a look at the armor sets. We are using a New Moon Acolyte. This is not just front barred, I do have it double barred here with a sword and board and the 2H. A Maul Nirnhoned with a weapon damage enchant. This helps get our burst to hit harder. That's the way I like it. If you don't know this set, it just gives a shit ton of damage. It's basically all it is damage. Gives us 600 weapon damage, which is really powerful, and some pen. Hurts a lot. I keep it double bar because that way it buffs my heals as well. The cost increase is negligible. My monster set is Bloodspawn. Lots of people do not like this set anymore because it got nerfed. I don't think it got nerfed that bad. It's going to be up pretty much all the time. Gives you 3,300 resistances, which is the equivalent of 5% mitigation. People love potentates. That's 5% mitigation. This is also 5%. It can be cut through with pen and stuff, but still very helpful. And the ultimate regeneration, even though it's not 14 anymore, is still super helpful on a Nord DK. We can pump out ults like nothing. And ults hurt, and they also help our sustain as a Dragonite. So yeah, we got Bloodspawn. I also run double dot poisons. I don't have any of the good ones on me right now, but I'm using these ones. Double dot poisons on your back bar, very nice. And then our other set, also double barred, is Eternal Vigor. Magic recovery, stamina recovery, health recovery, some extra max health, which is always nice. And then 325 Stam and Magic recovery while you are above 50% health, which is pretty frequently. And 1,000 health recovery while below 50% health. So this, on top of the health recovery we already have, puts us at about 2.5k when that procs, which really helps us get out of the execute range, especially when we're already healing so much, because we are a Dragonite. So this is super helpful. It gives us a whole lot of magicka recovery, so we can constantly drop our fragmented shield and do other things. Very nice. And stamina recovery, we don't have to run any kind of stamina recovery food or boon because of how powerful this set is. I think it might get nerfed at some point. It might get cut in half. Maybe on the stamina recovery part. Hopefully not. I think it's great. I don't think it's too powerful because it's not a damage set. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is, and I hope they don't touch it. I really, really like this one. It is a 5 medium, 2 heavy build. My recommended traits, which I don't have myself yet because I'm poor, you can feel free to send your gold to Kuroyuki Sora on Xbox, NA if you want to help with the builds. Shameless plug. I would prefer to have 2 sturdy, including a shield in the body and an armor piece. So that reduces block a little bit, which is very nice, about 8%. And then 2 well-fitted. I only have 1 right now, but if you have 2 sturdy, 2 well-fitted, then you've got a lot of reduction on your defensive options. And it gives us a lot of choices for dealing with things. And that's the way I like it. You can just put a little more impin in your CP. It's not a big deal. And then jewelry is all Eternal Vigor. It drops in healthy, unfortunately, because I do not have enough transmutes to make it all infused, which is what I would do. It's purple because, again, I am poor, or I would make it gold. But yeah, 1 healthy. You can make this... You can make them all infused, you can make them healthy still and have even more health. It's up to you. You'll still hit pretty hard even with healthy. But yeah, this Eternal Vigor is super cheap right now. Get it before it goes up because people haven't really caught on to how strong the set is just yet. So get it while it's cheap. And yeah, that is the sets. Going over here to take a look at the skills. Back bar, we have Resolving Vigor. Obviously, no Stam build is complete without Resolving Vigor. 23k tooltip. If you're near a alliance thing, then you get your passive, your combat medic passive. This is going to be almost 30k. And then if you have, what is it called? Continuous attack and your weapon damage enchant up, this will easily be over 30k on the tooltip, which is super helpful. Elude, this is our major evasion, so our AoE damage reduction, as well as gives us movement speed about 90% of the time, most fights. And it lasts quite a long time, so you don't have to rebuff that often. Volatile Armor, this is our armor buff. You could use this one or the other one, they're both good. I prefer this one because of the AoE stealth reveal, because I'm, again, I am poor, and I'm out of detect pots, and I can't pull Nightblades out any other way. If you want the shield from the other one, you can do that as well. Both of these are useless. The dot from this is going to hit for nothing, and the shield on the other one is going to protect you for, again, nothing. So, it's really up to you. Fragmented Shield. This is where a lot of our survivability comes from on the DK. Dropping this gives us major mending, increasing our healing by 25% for 6 seconds. This is very powerful, especially with the amount of magicka sustain we do have on this build, because we can keep this up a good 80% of the time. It's super strong, very nice to have. Now, Race Against Time. I don't see a lot of other Stam DKs using Race Against Time, and I gotta say that I've tried a lot of stuff on Stam DK this patch, and having this mobility option feels like it helps me and my playstyle the best. Because Stam DK is slow. Stam DK is slow as shit. And if you want to do shuffle, you're not going to have a movement speed buff. If you want to use 4 momentum, you're going to lose out on rally. So I've come to terms with this. It gives us really good movement speed, uptime, and also gives us a quick snare removal if we need to move or reposition. It's very helpful with our magicka recovery and sustain. It is pretty easy to always have when you need it, and still be able to drop your fragmented shield when you need that. Backbar ultimate, I'm using Temporal Guard for the 8% mitigation. You could use the Sword and Board ult if you want to, or Corrosive. I haven't even leveled Sword and Board ult or Corrosive on this DK, because this is a pretty new one, and I just prefer Temporal Guard. The other 2 options are good, I just prefer this one. You know, I like to be a little beefier on the backbar. If you want to be even beefier, you can throw on a 2-piece Potensate's Sword and Board. You'll lose some healing, but you'll be juicier on the back bar, a little thicker. It's up to you. I just like to have the healing. and to also keep my dots ticking harder when I'm on my defense bar. It's very important to me. Front bar we got Rally, this is Burst Heal, Stam Recover buff. This thing doesn't work 50% of the time. They'll heal you for like 2k crits, awful. But it's also, when it does work, it's nice. So keep that in mind. You want to keep your vigor up more often than not, and not rely entirely on a rally burst heals, because they don't work. That's just ESO right now. Noxious Breath, AoE Fracture. It's actually got a pretty solid tooltip on the direct damage portion, so it can kind of be AoE burst, about a 9k tooltip on everyone in front of you. If I had my other ring infused, it probably would be a 9k tooltip. So yeah, that's about a 15k dot, which is pretty solid this patch. Dizzy Swing, you know what this does, it goes boink bonk and the other guys go ouch. Hits really hard, I love it. Yeah, not really much to say about this. It sets people off balance, and it hurts a lot, so yeah, good burst. Executioner, you could use the other one. I don't like the other one sucks. This one does 400% more damage to a single target instead of 300%, so it pretty much annihilates anything that's at low health, and it makes it very, very hard for them to recover, especially with your dots ticking on them, and their lower healing. And speaking of dots, we got Venomous Claw. This thing is ridiculous this patch. About a 20k tooltip. If everything was going in my favor, it would be a 20k tooltip. Over 20k. And yeah, with the reduced healing this patch, having both of these dots on people, it really helps you weed out who the stupidest person in the group is. Because if you make sure everyone's noxious up and slap a few people with your Venomous Claw, everything will tick and you'll be like, oh, that guy's not healing himself, and then boom, hit him with a Take Flight. You could also use Dawnbreaker. They both hit really hard. The dot from Dawnbreaker would play into this build pretty nicely, because we do have a lot of dot damage, and if the initial smack from the Dawnbreaker doesn't kill them, the extra like 20k dot or whatever that it has afterwards very well might. But, you know, it's up to you. Those are my two options though for Ultimate. I don't have Dawnbreaker on this DK. I have it on my red DK, but my yellow one is the one I play right now, so yeah. Take Flight. I mean, everyone knows what Take Flight does. This thing fucking hurts. So yeah, that is our skills. Let's take a look at our champion points real quick. Not really going to go too heavily into this, just a few key points. Ironclad 20%. I've dropped some points out of Resistant, but I still have a few because of the fact that I'm using a few non-Impin pieces. Thick-Skinned, I recommend you pump this up pretty high because, like I said, dots are very powerful this patch. So I've got 20% reduction from dots here. You can take some out of Elemental Defender and put them into Hardy if you want to, because Stam DK does have a lot of spell resist and stuff, but I like to keep it nice and even across the board, as long as you've got 120 points in here for Unchained. Quick Recovery, I've got this up at 10% just to help the healing a little bit. One Siphoner. Bashing Focus. I could probably take these points out, but because I only have these points in for when I play Sword and Board, so I'll actually go ahead and move them to where I would put them. Pump up Warlord to about 20. Let's see, Mooncalf, I probably put another percent into there. And then Tumbling, yes, Tumbling. So yeah, that's what I do with the green ones. And then blue, I have 7% in Blessed. 81 into Master at Arms, because ouch time. And then 56 into Thaumaturge, again, like I said, dots hurt this patch. And then Precise Strikes, we're not critting too often on DK right now, because we don't have a crit buff of any kind. If you want to use crit pots instead of tri-pots or something, you can. I would put more points in here. That'd be pretty effective, but I prefer tri-pots, so. Piercing, we got 3315, which is about 5% extra damage, and then Mighty 56 points for 12% on all of our stuff. So yeah, there we go. That is the build. Is there anything else important that I'm forgetting? I don't think so. I use tripods, and that's all I use right now because, again, I am poor. I don't know if I went over it before, but on the body pieces I recommend going all Stam glyphs, because the food that we run gives us a lot of max stat across the board, so we don't need to use try. So yeah, that is about it. I'm going to go ahead and swap over to some 1vx clips so you guys can see the build in action, and I'll give you guys some commentary over them so you can see if it is a playstyle you like. Alright, so in this first clip, I'm in sewers. All the clips are going to be in sewers, or IC, just because Cyrodiil is so broken, but I see a couple guys. This one's AFK, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill him real quick. He doesn't really fight back. Or not AFK, he's checking his inventory or something, but, you know, easy kill, free AP, free tower, I'll take it. I saw his buddy go off this way, I think, and then, oh, look, he's got a couple more buddies. So, naturally I go back, I kite back into this windy little corridor, keep my buffs up, and then I see this guy who looks really squishy, leap him, instantly delete him. You know, GG, it's over. I see the meteor coming in, so I block and heal. I'm taking some pressure, so I decide to use my mobility to get up here, line of sight, and just keep dropping back down, back and forth here, up and down into the corridors, just to keep some line of sight on these guys, because they're not doing a lot of damage, but they're doing enough to be pesky, and, you know, heals this patch are not great. That guy would look squishy, so I leapt him. You know, he had some dots taken on him. So he let his health drop a little bit, hit him with the leap, almost killed him, not quite. So I just keep cycling the buffs, keep on reapplying the heals and moving up and down here, just trying to let the dots tick away on somebody enough to burst him. This guy is my target right now, because he is not doing too great at healing himself. Get him with the claw and then the leap and he is done for. I decided to go on the DK, but then I realized this guy has 450 CP, so he becomes primary target. Goes invisible, pop the armor to pull him out a couple times. His buddy just left him, so slap him in the face, the big dizzy swing, and he is done. I'm gonna go chase after his buddy for abandoning him, because why would you do that? And here he is. I don't know what he's doing over here, so we're just gonna go and clean him up real quick, dot him up real quick. He's blocking, it's not working. He's taking that dot damage. Tries to be offensive, hit him with the dizzy swing, off balance into the leap, and it's over for him, and that's the first clip done. So, I realized that he has absolutely, like, no healing on his own. So I figure he would probably be a little bit easier to kill than this Stam Warden, because I did fight this Stam Warden earlier. He's just a little bit tanky and annoying, so I decided to kill the DK tank first, because it'll be a little easier. And would you look at that, it was easier. Dotted him up, hit him with the leap, he's done. This guy's rezzing, so I run into bash, dot him up. He thinks he's gonna run, so I'm just gonna chase him for a while. He pops a healing ult, very annoying. I can't really kill him in that, so I just cycle some heavy attacks here, reapply my buffs, keep my healing up. There is a lot of ads, there are a lot of ads, excuse me. So I want to make sure that I don't take extra damage from them, and, you know, to the point where he can burst me. That doesn't look like that's his plan, though, and then I leap right on top of this boss. That's a little unfortunate. I pull a knife blade out of stealth. He seems to not care about me, so he runs away. I don't mind, I don't bother him, so I'm just staying on top of this warden, because he is the one that was trying to outnumber me. Again, pops another healing ult, so I do what I did before, just kite, and get my buffs up. He goes out of his healing ult, which is a silly move, and I pepper him with some dots, hit him with some D-swings, some heavy attacks, just cycle these on him, rotate a little bit. Just keep slapping him. This boss is going to make this a lot easier because this boss actually hits really fucking hard. So I see him stand there in that boss's AoE explosion. Thought I was going to capitalize, hit him with the leap and kill him, it didn't work. So he pops another healing ult. That sniper isn't really interfering anymore, I think he's given up. Oh, never mind, there he goes, sniping him again. So naturally this guy's going to run away, he's like, oh shit, I'm being sniped, and it doesn't work for him. Now, those guys are actually going to come back in just a moment, right here in the next one. So as you can see, I'm still fighting the same boss when that whole group just sprints back around the corner. I see the zone, I try to line of sight and break it. Doesn't work, but then I leave the guy for almost all of his health, and he takes a snipe from that red sniper, and we put him down real quick. The rest of the group is starting to kind of converge a little bit, so I pull back into the corridor there and heal. They kind of disappear for a second. And the next thing you know, they're on top of the red sniper, and they kill him. So, no more of his help, I guess. There's the warden again, doing a healing ult. So, you know, there's that. I decided to follow him, because I'm not going to let him get away. I have no idea where the rest of his group went, but I'm going to kill this guy at the very least. Get my heals up, and then there's the rest of the group. I kite back over here to this spot where I have a little bit better line of sight. This is a nice little corner. They have to come around right into my field of view. Now, only this guy comes through, so I dot him up real good. Fall back into the corridor to line of sight and throw my vigor up. I keep on expecting the rest of the group to come around the corner, but they just don't yet. I don't know why. I'm trying to kill this guy, but he's in execute, but he's holding block inside of his healing ult. It's just not working. I might have went a little too ham on him there. It really didn't need all that. You know, it wasn't going to happen. I see the rest of the group over there, so I pull back again. Just get some resource back and some health back. They're still not pushing me. I don't know why. So I'm just going to sit here, cycle some heavies, keep my resource up, keep my buffs up. They're starting to get a little ballsy coming over here, so I'm going to pull them to the boss in this tight corridor to use the boss's AoEs to kill them. But again, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, I can't tell if they want to fight me or not. They're just kind of hanging out outside. This warden's a little ballsy. It's just, he runs in to do some damage every now and then, and he runs away. He's super tanky, comparatively at least. It's just annoying me. So I get chained into the group, so I'm like, okay, maybe this is it. I run back in, and you guessed it, they don't follow me. So I decide that it's time to just go outside and do the damn thing. So I notice this guy's taking a lot of damage from the boss, so I try to get the executes off. I get one execute off, bring him really low. The boss's damage finishes him, which is lucky, so I kite back through here into this little alcove. I see him taking a Zon. I take a lot of pressure there, so I just undo back into the alcove, and then I run again to line of sight. I recycle my heals, my buffs. I take a frag. This guy is low health. He's not getting his health back up, so I go ahead and I kill him. I bash his dark deal, stuns him, and I can execute him. I get ganked again, take a little bit of damage here, so I just try to line of sight with this little hump. This guy is rezzing, I don't allow that. Stun him right in the boss's AoE explosion. That dude had no chance. So I hop back down here into this little gutter, because they can't see me down there, and, you know, reapply my buffs, heal myself. Now I just have to get rid of this last squishy DPS, who again is not healing himself, and he's done. I hit him with an execute right as the boss explosion went off, so now it's just me and the same two. Again, I decided to focus on the DK, and it was the right move, because he goes down even easier than the first time, and I bet you know what this guy's gonna fucking do. Yep, he's gonna run. Again. So I follow him, slap him in the back of the head with a couple dizzies. He takes that boss damage right there really bad, right as I hit him with a D-swing, and he just falls down in a second here. 1, 2, and 3, here comes the leap, boom, it's over for him. And yeah, easy fight. So now we're jumping into the last fight here, and we are above ground, getting attacked by a few reds. I see the bats come, the vampire ult come in as I'm low health, so I decide to leap to get some health back and get these guys off of me, and give me an opportunity to line of sight over here to these beds, which I do, and I just kind of run around them a whole lot, making it really annoying for these guys to attack me. The vampire ult's pretty AIDS, so, and I know that guy already hits really hard. There's a lot of them coming here, and so I just keep on. I kite around, try to trick them a little bit. I leave the building, go around back to the other entrance of the building, and it seems to work for a second. These guys are still all over me though. They realize that they've been bamboozled, and they go back in the building. So I decide to go to a different building instead of staying inside the same one. And it seems to have worked because they thought I bamboozled them and went into the same building again. I didn't. I went over here. These two realized that they were tricked. They were fooled. And so, yeah, here comes the rest of the group. I get the dots off on this guy, and he goes down to low health. He streaks off right as I leap, so I get confused. I kill a guard instead, poor guy. I see the group, and they're all confused, so I just go back up top, cycle my buffs. This guy is weak as shit, so I go ahead and knock him out of the game real quick. A couple of them start coming up. I hop back down because I thought someone was going to start rezzing this guy from the bottom of the stairs. Didn't happen. Dot up this weak Sork, cycle my heals, get my shit up, and then leap this guy. He takes all of his health. So I just go ahead and hit him with the execute to finish him off. I go back up to the top of the stairs. Gives me a little more line of sight on these guys. This one decides that she is going to run. Don't allow that. Chase it out the door and slap it in the back of the head with an executioner. It's not allowed on my turf. Go back into my building because kiting up on top of these stairs is really effective. I see this. I know this. This Stam Warden is also pretty tanky and annoying. There's just a lot of annoying tanky Stam Wardens out here right now. So I don't really bother with him, and I focus on these guys. I leap this guy and almost kill him, and instead of being smart and going for the dizzy swing into execute, which would have hit him, I go for the executes. Didn't work. I'm getting low, so I drop out the window. Those guys jumped out a little too fast and went down into the little trench by the flag, so it gave me a second to recuperate and go back in the building. The Magblade decides that he doesn't want to fight me anymore, so that makes it a little easier. So it's just me and the Stam Warden for a minute. Keep my buffs up. Hit him, dot him up, and I see the werewolf rezzing, but he's not healing himself from the dots I put on him earlier, so I hit him with the leap. I missed the bash though, so when I come in, this guy is starting to res, bash him real quick, dot him up, and hit him with the executes. He is really weak, so he'd die immediately. And there is another weak squishy Nightblade. Go ahead and dot him up, hit him with a leap, and he is donezo. So after that, I take a little moment to victory teabag because I just killed that entire group. That was 6 bodies right there, and I thought this Stam Warden was going to be chill because he just kind of I thought he stopped fighting me for the last kill there, but it looks like he just walked away. I don't know. Anyway, he wants to duel. He wants to continue this fight. So yeah, the last bit of this video is a duel between me and this tanky Stam Warden, who honestly isn't too bad. Don't really think I need to commentate over a duel, so I'll just go ahead and let you guys watch the duel while the music plays out. And yeah, that has been my Stam BK build and some gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, give me some love down in the comments, do whatever you want. Have a great day.